What's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. Today I'm gonna be working on this 2006. This is a Nissan Frontier and it has a 2.5. I'm gonna be replacing the coils. My family member brought it because he was having a misfire. Last time he was having a misfire and I replaced all the spark plugs. It went away, but it came back, and luckily the misfire was on cylinder number 1. So I removed the coil. I inspected the spark plug and it was firing, everything was working. But this is one problem that it comes and goes. And as of right now, I know it's the coil, so I'm gonna be replacing all the coils. As you can see, the intake, it's on top of the rest of the coils. So I'm gonna be taking the intake off. I'm not gonna take it off completely, I'm just gonna unbolt it and move it to the side. As you can see, it has a couple of wires and all the injectors underneath, the fuel rail and everything. So I don't want to take it completely off. I'm just gonna unbolt it, remove a couple of hoses, and I'm just gonna move it to the side. I'm not gonna take it completely off because I don't want to drain the coolant and I don't want to mess with a couple of other things. I'm only doing the coils. If I was doing the valve cover, for sure I would take it completely off, but I don't see the point. Before I take it apart, I want to show you guys the code. So this is the code I'm getting, the P0301. Cylinder 1 misfire. There's 2 other codes. The other one is the same thing, cylinder 1 misfire, and the third code is for the catalytic converter. I'm not gonna deal with that. So the truck has like almost 300,000 miles. I'm gonna replace all the coils because it has a lot of miles and it looks like it has the original coils. So this is a work truck and I want to avoid future problems. I'm just gonna replace all of them. I recommend you guys disconnect the battery. I'm not gonna disconnect it because I don't see the point, but for precautions, I would suggest you guys do it. So I'm gonna start with the intake, do this part of the intake right here. I'm just gonna remove this bolt right here, and take it off from here to here. This one you just twist it and it should come off. Let me see. Yeah, this one you just twist it off, and this one you just pull it back, and I'm gonna grab this right here. So this is the easy part right here. This one just comes off. All right, the next thing I'm gonna remove is my connector right here for the master flow. And this one, I don't think you have to take this one off because I'm just gonna move the whole thing together. I'm gonna remove this hose right here. I'm not gonna take it off, I'm just gonna remove it from the plastic clips right here. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do is this evap hose right here. I'm just gonna remove, I'm gonna grab some pliers. So I'm gonna remove this evap hose, move it out of the way. All right, and then this hose right here, I think it's for the PCB if I'm not mistaken. So I'm just gonna take this one off. Actually, I think it's easier if you take it off from the back. Okay, so before I take this off, I'm gonna remove this connector right here for the that one's actually for the canister. So I'm gonna take this off. I'm just gonna put it to the side, and I'm gonna remove the hose for the booster. It's right here. So we're just gonna take that off and put it on the side as well. And now I'm gonna get to the PCB hose on the back. Is this one right here. I'm gonna remove the clamp and take it off. I'm gonna grab my pliers and remove this clamp. There it is. Just move it to the side as well. And I'm also gonna disconnect my throttle body. There it is. Move the plug to the side. And there is another PCB hose right here, and I put the wrong hose. I put like a silicone hose, and now it's kind of soaked in oil, so this is not the right hose. I'll probably replace that later on, and I think that's gonna be it. Now I'm gonna move to the actual intake, and I'm gonna remove the air filter housing. So I'm gonna put the air filter housing off. Just put it to the side. All right, now I'm gonna remove this connector right here. I'm just gonna remove it from the housing, so it allows me to move the intake anywhere I want. So I'm gonna grab my pliers and just move it to the side pretty much. There it is. That way I can move this anywhere I want. And if I remember correctly, I think that's it. Now I can take the bolts off from the housing, but actually there is another bolt down here. Let me get my light. So there's a bolt right here. You gotta take that one off first. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. All right guys, so I got this one off. It's a 12, and let me show you down here. So it's a bracket. I just got the bottom bolt loose, and then you're able to move the bracket out of the way. So I'm just gonna leave it like that for now. All right, now I'm gonna remove this part of the intake. This is the actual intake. There, I don't think there's nothing else holding it anymore. There's 5 bolts holding the intake. All right guys, so there's gonna be one nut right here, a bolt, and at the end another nut. I'm gonna start with this one, then this one, then the one in here, and lastly the one in the middle. Okay, they're gonna be 12 millimeters, and they're a little bit tough to get, but they're not impossible. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my 12, and I'm gonna start taking them off. Once you take these off, then you're able to move the intake around and get to the coils. I want to show you guys real quick. Hopefully we're able to see the bolts holding the intake. So there is one right there. So there it is. That's one that you have to remove, and it's gonna be another one right on the end. And I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see the rest of them. Let me see. There's another one. There's the other one right there. And I don't know if you're able to see the third one, but that should be the third one. And then the last one is way over there. So hopefully that helps, but I'm gonna start taking them off. And the first one, you're able to break it loose and just get it from the side. And here it is. The last one is gonna be the same thing. You're able to get it from the side. So you're able to get the second one from the side. There it is. Let's see if I'm able to get it off with my hands. Oh, apparently I can. All right guys, so here it is. Now I got 3 left. The middle one is the toughest one, but it's not impossible. All right guys, for this one, you're able to guide the socket with your finger. So you're able to feel the bolt and then just guide the ratchet or the socket with your finger. So let me take this one off. All right guys, and here's the third one. I got 2 more to go. So this one's kind of way on the bottom. It's a little easier to get. There it is. Now the last one, the middle one, that one's a little tough, but not impossible. So this one, the last one, it's a little bit tough because it's kind of hard to find. But once you get the feel for it, you're able to just put the socket in there, and that's it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna completely take it off. Make sure you don't drop none of these bolts, because if you drop them, even though there's almost nothing in here, it'll be kind of hard to find them again. So Make sure you don't drop them. And here's the last one. And that's it. Now I should be able to move my intake. And get to the coils. So there is a bracket right here, and that's why it's kind of tough to move around. But once you get it, here it is. You guys are able to see it right there. Once you get it off the studs, there it is. It'll be a lot easier to move around. So like I said before, mine, I'm not taking it off. I'm just gonna move it to the side. And you're able to get to the coils. See? And the reason why I didn't want to take everything off is because I don't want to disconnect these cooling hoses that go to the throttle body and also some of the connectors down here. So I'd rather just take it off like this. Like I was saying before, now I have a lot of access to all of my coils. So I'm gonna replace my coils. I already bought them over here. AutoZone has a set. If you buy the set of 4, it's cheaper, but they didn't have it available, so I had to buy each one. It was like $60 each, so I ended up paying like $260 with taxes. But at the end of the day, it's worth it. As long as I don't have any more issues, I'll be happy. I'm gonna go ahead and install my coils and put everything back together. These are my old coils. I already installed the new ones, so I got all new coils. I'm gonna go ahead and bolt the intake back on. I recommend you guys replace the intake manifold gasket. I'm gonna reuse my old ones because I replaced them already. I'm just gonna clean them real good and put a little bit of silicone on the intake ports, just a little bit, and I'm gonna bolt the intake back on. Now that I got my intake on and I already bolted all the bolts underneath, I'm gonna start connecting everything like the master flow. I'm gonna put the sensor back on. My hoses, I'm just gonna put them where they go. So pretty much just connect everything back on. Not a big deal. And there's another hose over here for the evap. This one goes to the solenoid. And there is a connector that goes to the solenoid over here. My throttle cable. Oh, it's a connector actually. It's not a cable, it's a connector. And I need a hose. I'm gonna put another hose that goes from here to the intake. And that's pretty much it. And I'm just gonna install my air filter and the air duct that goes to the air filter, and I'm almost done actually. Alright guys, so there it is. That's how you replace the coils. You could remove the intake all the way. I decided not to. All you had to do was just disconnect the injectors. There is a plug right here where you disconnect the injectors and the whole thing comes off. And you also have to disconnect the cooling lines on the throttle body. I didn't want to do that. That's why I just did it like this. Now I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on, make sure it doesn't have a misfire anymore, and I'm gonna drive it for a little bit. Alright guys, so I got rid of the codes. I'm gonna turn it on. And I'm gonna make sure it's not shaking, it's not misfiring, it's not doing anything funny. And apparently it looks like everything's working fine. I got rid of the check engine light, and there's no check engine light. I have to drive it, of course, to make sure that it's good. And that's what I'm gonna do right now. But I mean, before, when I would turn it on, it would start shaking right away, and right now it's pretty steady. So I think that fixed the problem. I'm gonna take it for a drive, but that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys for the next one.